Hello everybody, my name is Walter and this is episode 33 of my Redstone Commands Series. In this episode I want to talk about the Spectate command. Now this command is used to spectate as another entity. What this means is that you're basically looking out through the eyes of that entity and are moving with that entity. This only works if you are in spectator mode. If you are in any other game mode, this command will fail. And a common use for that command is in mini games where you want to actually see what is happening more or less in first person. And that should be enough of that. So let's talk about the syntax. So there are two things you can do. You can start spectating and you can stop spectating. Starting is somewhat straightforward. You start with the name of the command spectate. Then you specify the target of this command. The target is not the player. The target is the entity you want to spectate as. So you can use a player name here. You can use a unique identifier of any entity, or you can use a target selector. If you're doing the latter, make sure that you limit the selector to 1 through the arguments, because the target can only be a single entity, or the command will not execute. After that, optionally, you can define which player should go and spectate. This again must be a single player in this case. So you can use a player name or again a limited target selector. If you don't specify it, whoever is executing the command will be used instead. So basically the self-selector. If you want to stop spectating, you just write the name of the command spectate. And then it will automatically stop yourself from spectating. So if you want to stop someone else from spectating, you would have to use the execute as function as a modifier to that. And with that, let's get to the examples. So I prepared 3 commands here. The first will force myself into spectating as the nearest iron golem. So spectate, then the entity selector has filter arguments. I'm using type iron golem, sort nearest, and limit 1, so the nearest iron golem. And the player is myself. Second example, same idea, just with the chicken. And since the default is already myself, I left that out. And last example is stopping the spectating of every player in the game currently. So execute as all players and then run spectate. So this way you can force, for example, all players to stop. Now, if I just try this as I am, you will see I'm not in spectator mode, so the command fails. If I were to go into spectator mode and do the same, now you can see I appear to be a bit higher than before, because now I'm spectating as an iron golem and they are rather tall. And I'm not moving, the iron golem is moving. I myself can't move or change the direction I'm looking. All of that is the doing of the AI of the iron golem. Now, if I want to stop, I can either wait for the iron golem to be killed by some way, or I can go in a different game mode, which is usually the simplest one, at least in this example here. And or I could use the spectate command. And for the second example, now I'm going a bit lower to the ground and I'm spectating as a chicken. So pretty straightforward, no surprises there. So let's go and stop spectating, this time with the command. And yeah, let's actually stop spectating. And last example is, well, would force everyone who is spectating to stop doing that. And with that, we've reached the end of this episode about the spectate command. I hope you enjoyed it and, well, see ya.